I'm Ashley, and this is my brother, Robert. We co-founded Industrial Plankton along with Sean years ago, and here we have Jen, our biologist, that will be joining us as well. Let's get this presentation rolling. Good. All right. So we manufacture algae photobioreactors for hatcheries. Now, a little about us. We're based in Victoria, British Columbia. We founded the company just over a decade ago, so we're catching up to Reed Mariculture, but they've definitely been around a bit longer. So we have 17 full-time employees. Here you can see, I think there's 15 of us in this picture. So if you contact us for anything photobioreactor related, some of these lovely people will be the ones that will be helping sort you out. And we manufacture everything in-house. So if you're ever in Victoria, send us a message. We love showing people around our manufacturing facility. So our goal, what we wake up to try and do every morning, is just make producing clean algae easier and more reliable for you. So normally we'd be at this trade show, we'd have an actual bioreactor on the floor that you could poke and prod and kick and do all those things too. Since we can't do that this year, we thought we would take you into a few of the hatcheries that have bioreactors so you can see a day in the life of how they operate them. So here we have this first hatchery. This is Salt Spring Island mussels in British Columbia. This is Ingrid, the algologist there, and some of her team. They have 6 of our bioreactors at their facility. And we recently heard that them having our reactors was instrumental to them getting through COVID because they were working with the skeleton crew, and also the electrical savings from switching from their previous system over to our bioreactors was night and day. So things like that are always great to hear. This next picture is Steve Melanowski. Some of you guys might recognize on the East Coast. Steve's company is Fisher's Island Oysters. So Steve has one of our very first reactors. You can see he just sent us this picture in 2021. So great to see that reactor is still cranking out beautiful looking algae. And for Steve, well, Fisher's Island is in New York, so a small footprint was very important to him because nobody has too much space in New York. So it fits really well into his hatchery there. Now we've got some more East Coasters here. We have Josh at Cornell. This is the Long Island Shellfish Restoration Project. They're working on clam restoration. Josh has 4 reactors in total. So here he is in front of 2 of them. And Josh had a culture of, what was it, Catossaurus, just cranking away for almost 12 months last year. Very dense. Send him a message if you want to see actual slides of it. It was very nice looking. Here we have Carrie. She's with Cherrystone Aqua Farms in Virginia. She's had 2 of our reactors for the past 6 or 7 years, I think, and just last month they added another 2 to their collection. So that's great to see that they're growing. A few more pictures. We hop over the pond here. This is Orkney Shellfish Hatchery. They actually originally were in more of the lobster technology space, and now they're also in the oyster hatchery space. So just a nice picture of their algae. And then here back to Massachusetts on the East Coast, we have the ARC hatchery. There's Lisa, a lovely algologist there. I think she's trained at LSU, a brilliant woman. She is really pushing the numbers on what she can produce in our reactor as well. A couple more. Here back to the West Coast, we've got Oregon State University, their molluscan broodstock program. So they have 2 of our reactors, and just in the next couple of weeks are adding a couple more. And what is this? A culture of, they've got their Catossaurus gracilis up to 35.6 million cells per mil in that slide that they sent us. So always good to see real life things that people send us. Couple final pictures. Here's a beautiful picture from the operator at the Deep Bay Marine Field Station in British Columbia. That's Julie. She sent us that picture. And then here up in the top corner, we have JP at Nova Harvest. So JP started his hatchery about 9 years ago when we were around starting our company. He has some of our very first reactors ever. You can see over his shoulder there, that's still pumping out algae. And every year or 2, he adds a reactor or 2 to his fleet. So he really has so many reactors there. It's a great facility up in British Columbia. He has a gooey duck hatchery, also oyster hatchery, and he's buying up some oyster leases. So getting into that space as well. So now we've seen some pictures from people's hatcheries. Let's just hear. This is from the East Coast of Canada, here an operator and how they use the equipment.
And the ability to create large quantities of high quality food has been the basis for a lot of our research that's been going on.
I think the bioreactors really help us there because we can get large quantities of algae, we can get healthy and nutritious algae, and we can have an endless supply basically. Available at your fingertips are changes in temperature, changes in pH. You can change anything about it, change the lighting levels, which is just unheard of basically in standard culture. You can make the culture conditions unique to the strain of algae that you're growing, which broadens the horizon for anything we want to grow. And that's just been my favorite thing. It just opens the horizons up for algal culture for us.
My favorite thing about the bioreactor is basically their ease of use. They're extremely user-friendly, and being a technician and someone who's cleaned tanks for many years, the cleaning cycle is fantastic.
Cleaning alone in typical algal culture, it can take hours. At the end of a cycle of the bioreactor, we go through a self-contained cleaning cycle and it's done. I mean, the cleaning itself is just amazing. It's kind of revolutionized the way we feed larvae and grow algae. I mean, I've never seen a system that didn't require at least, I don't know, 20 to 30 steps to get it up to a volume that you can attain within weeks in this bioreactor. It opens up the possibility to do larval culture on a huge scale if you wanted it, because of the availability of and the volume you can produce and the time it takes to produce it.
Perfect. So now we've seen some pictures from hatcheries. We've heard from a hatchery using them. Now you guys might be wondering where you can see these reactors in real life. We're currently in 20 countries and have over 160 reactors out in the world. I'm happy to connect you with people using them. Not every facility that uses them has an open door policy for tours because they like to keep it as their secret sauce, which is totally fair. But a lot of people are willing to show people around. So send us a message if you would like to see some. They might be closer than you think. And I'll now open it up if you have any questions.
Any questions for Ashley and her team there at Industrial Plankton?